All right, here we are, guys. Customer showcase videos. I got my good friend Phil McKnight's down here today. Phil, what'd you bring in?
This is a Paul Reed Smith McCarty 594.
Paul Reed Smith, made in Maryland.
It is. Yep, it's made in Maryland, Stevensville. Okay. What do you want to know? It's lemon drop. It's the color.
Lemon drop the color. First, let's start up here.
Okay.
McCarty 594.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Okay, so basically, Paul Reed Smith has decided to make a guitar that's a clone of a very early Gibson Les Paul. And so this has a special scale length. This is 24 inches, 24 and a half instead of 24 3/4.
Regular so Gibson scale.
Right. So, well, no, Gibson would be 24 3/4. Okay. This is 24 and a half.
Wow.
Like the original Gibsons were.
Oh, okay.
So, so basically, it's the maple top. It's they use brass saddles. It's got the thick neck like a 59 Les Paul. It's got
big binding. Chunky neck.
Yep, it's got binding, which Paul Reed Smith doesn't usually do. It's got a bone nut, which Paul Reed Smith usually doesn't do.
Okay.
It's got
the name McCarthy.
McCarty. McCarty is Ted McCarty, the guy who ran Gibson. That's what this is in honor of.
I gotcha.
Because Paul worked with McCarty, he got him to help him kind of design this stuff. And then it has the 5815T LT pickups, which are low-turned pickups that use the original wire from like what Gibson would use on the same machine that Gibson used. It's actually they actually have that machine at Paul Reed Smith's factory. It's the same machine. So
those are as closest to the old Gibson pickups you can get.
Yes.
You can't get closer than that.
I don't. Not according to Paul, you can't. Huh. And then they coil spin them, which is different, right?
Coil split. Okay, tell me real quick the difference between coil split and coil tap.
Coil split just means when you engage it, you're going to ground out one of the coils, so you only have one. You have a single coil now. So you're going to have a hum again, single hum. Coil tap would be you're tapping into the pickup, so you're just reducing the power of a humbucker.
Okay.
So, and that's. But what's interesting was you were talking about guitars. This one I bought from Paul last January. And I've never reviewed it.
It's
I just play it apparently. In fact, it's never usually in the room. I think once in a while, if you look in the videos, there's a video where it's in the background of me somewhere.
How many of these things did he build?
I don't know. It's a new model. It's
this says 17 on there. Is that the year?
Yeah, 2017.
That's the year.
And so it's a current production, and it's not a limited run. It's just their guitar.
They're making them then.
It's just their, like I said, flagship guitar is the best way to put it. They make it in a double cut too. You can get it without the. You know, it's.
But the standard Les Paul design is the single cut.
Yeah, that's what I
like
went with. In fact, if you watch the video where I'm with Paul Reed Smith and we're talking, I said, I think it's cool that you're doing this. And then he said, he goes on a tirade and he tells me, guitar players are never happy. And I said, I bought one. And he's like, oh, you bought one? I said, yeah, just like a few minutes ago before I walked in this room. And he goes, oh, okay, they were good. You said whatever you want. So I bought it because it was supposed to be the most amazing thing ever. It is probably the best sounding guitar.
I have to say that's a beautiful bridge. The brass on there looks gorgeous.
Yes.
Super easy to intonate. Really nice.
See? It's pretty.
Yes, it is.
And it's got birds.
It's got the birds.
It's got the birds. And his new signature. They changed the signature, they inlay it now, and you can read it. See, it says read. Before, if you look at the original Paul Reed Smith script,
it was hard to read.
Yeah, you couldn't read what he's saying, so they changed it so that you can read it. I thought it was interesting, and that's when they added the veneer, the rosewood veneer to the headstocks.
Oh, okay.
So
that looks really nice.
Yeah. So
Phil, thank you so much for bringing that thing in.
You're welcome.
You want to play it so we can see what it sounds like?
If you would like to, we can.
Let's do it. So let me ask you one question about that scale length. Being even a 1/4 inch smaller than standard Gibson, what's that do as far as your string tension and stuff?
Makes it easier. But this is what they're saying, what Paul is saying, is that when you take original 54 Les Pauls, they're 24 and a half inches. They're not 24 3/4. That's what Paul's saying. So he he's saying that's what kind of was magic about them.
Oh. What's the radius of that neck? Real flat?
This, it's 10, I think.
Oh, okay.
But it might be a 12.
Okay.
Like I said, this is probably the only guitar I've ever bought in my life where literally just the whole planet Earth of guitar players were like, this is the holy grail of guitars. I'm like, really?
Right.
That's it, right? And so Paul sent me one, a double cut, and he goes, hey, review it, and if you want it, I'll give you a deal on it. So I reviewed it. So I have reviewed not this, but another 594, the double cut. And I played it, and I was totally in love, but I couldn't afford it. It was a lot of money. So I sold it, and it made me sad. So, but fast forward a year later, are we recording right now?
Yes.
Okay, it's fine. A year later, what happened was, I went from, at that point, they were just like, hey, you got a little channel, we'll send you a guitar, to, hey, your channel's a little bigger now, we'll give you a deal. You know what I mean? So they gave me a deal.
Nice.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
That thing sounds great.
Yeah.
So you got 13 gauge strings on there, but they...
I have 11s.
11s. But because of that scale length, they sort of feel slinky, like,
they feel like
9 gauge strings, huh?
Yeah, I'd say like 9s almost. Right?
Whoa! So you like doing string bends, man. That is the guitar.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's definitely a nice guitar.
It really is. Stainless steel frets, or what's the frets that they use?
So Paul Reed Smith uses nickel silver frets, but everybody buys their fret wire from pretty much the same wire companies. Right?
Okay.
So Paul doesn't order the hardest fret wire there is. He orders the second hardest fret wire there is.
Okay.
Something to the effect that he said, look, when you get, he goes, it doesn't matter. According to him, it doesn't have to be stainless steel, right? It's just there's a tensile strength that you're going after, and I don't know if I 100% agree with that, but I will say this: my ear does detect what he's talking about. That as the tensile strength gets harder, it gets really hard. There's a brightness and a sharpness to the note that some people will probably dig, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So this is the compromise, right? But mostly what he's trying to do is he's trying to get guitars that can take 10 years of abuse.
Yeah. Right.
Before a fret job. And that's why he also, check this out, this is cool. So this is a humbucker, right?
Right.
This is the single coil. So back to the humbucker. So you can hear how thick the note is for the single coil.
There you go, I can hear that.
But no volume drop.
Right. Very nice.
Yeah. That's something that he does that's cool too. So that's a Paul Reed Smith 594.
That is really super cool, man, and thank you so much for bringing that in.
You're welcome.
Guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys all later. Thanks again. Bye-bye.